Hello. You have no idea what pleasure it gives me to renew my acquaintance with the inimitable operas of Gilbert and Sullivan. All the more so because, because television is able to give them a whole new dimension. You see, I'm struck afresh by the astonishing variety and contrast that we can enjoy in these operas. What different places they take us to, colorful, exciting places, and how wonderfully Sullivan's music creates a totally new mood for each location. Now, in the gondoliers, Gilbert takes us to the romantic palaces and canals of Venice, and Sullivan's music is full of sunny Italian melody. On the other hand, when Gilbert moves to Portsmouth on the English Channel for HMS Pinafore, I swear you can smell the sea breezes in Sullivan's nautical music. And in the Yeoman of the Guard, set within the grim walls of the Tower of London, Sullivan's patriotic themes stir us with memories of 900 years of British history. Now, talking of a more personal kind of location, I'm fascinated by the several different houses in London where Gilbert and Sullivan resided. Now, Sullivan was born in this modest street in the district of Lambeth, and he rose in the world to spend the last 20 years of his life in this comfortable but not ostentatious block of apartments in the district of Victoria. Now, Gilbert had rather grander tastes. At one time, he resided in that part of elegant South Kensington known as the Boltons. Later, he moved to this highly ornate mansion in nearby Harrington Gardens. Finally, he bought this handsome country house, Grim's Dyke, with its beautiful gardens and lake. But I must take you now to a much more frightening, sinister place, RUDDIGORE Castle, set on the bleak, rocky shores of Cornwall. For centuries, the haunt of smugglers and pirates, and we mingle with the rugged, independent Cornish folk, so different from the rest of Englishmen, so full of dark legends of the past. However, our story begins with pictures of a much prettier kind, for the village of Reddering, or Red Herring, possesses, so it seems, England's only troupe of professional bridesmaids.
queen of maidenkind. Rose all glowing with virgin blushes said, is anybody going to marry you today? Fair is Rose, soft is Rose, Rose is the queen of maidenkind.
Nay, gentle maidens, you sing well, but vainly. For Rose is still heart-free, and looks but coldly upon her many suitors.
It's very disappointing. Every young man in the village is in love with her, but they're appalled by her beauty and modesty and won't declare themselves. So, until she makes her own choice, there's no chance for anybody else.
This is perhaps the only village in the world that possesses an endowed corps of professional bridesmaids who are bound to be on duty every day from 10 till 4. And it's at least 6 months since our services were required. The pious charity by which we exist is practically wasted.
We should be disendowed. There'll be an end to it. Dame Hannah, you're a nice old person. You could marry if you liked. There's old Adam, Robin's faithful servant. He loves you with all the frenzy of a boy of 14.
Nay, that may never be, for I am pledged
To whom?
to an eternal maidenhood. Many years ago, I was betrothed to a godlike youth who wooed me under an assumed name. But on the very day upon which our wedding was to have been celebrated, I discovered that he was no other than Sir Roderick Murgatroyd, one of the bad baronets of RUDDIGORE and the uncle of the man who now bears that title. As a son of that accursed race, he was no husband for an honest girl. So madly as I loved him, I left him then and there. He died but 10 years since, but I never saw him again.
But why should one not marry a bad baronet of RUDDIGORE?
All baronets are bad. Was he worse than all the other baronets?
My child, he was accursed.
But who cursed him? Not you, I trust.
The curse is on all his line and has been ever since the time of Sir Rupert, the first baronet. Listen, and you shall hear the legend. Sir Rupert Murgatroyd, his leisure and his riches, he ruthlessly employed in persecuting witches. With fear he'd make them quake, he'd dug them in his lake, he'd break their bones with sticks and stones, and burn them at the stake.
This sport he much enjoyed, did Rupert Murgatroyd. No sense of shame or pity came to Rupert Murgatroyd.
Once on the village green a posy hag he roasted, and what took place, I ween, shook his composure boasted. For as the torture grim seized on each withered limb, the writhing dame mid fire and flame yelled forth his curse on him. Each lord of RUDDIGORE, despite his best endeavor, shall do one crime or more once every day forever. His doom he can't deny, however he may try. For should he stay his hand, that day in torture he shall die. The prophecy came true, eke who held the title had every day to do some crime of import vital, until with guilt applied, I sin
And das mit seeming Kleid, as died each bird Freud, and so shall fall both one and all, each coming Bernard Lloyd.
Whither away, dear Rose? On some errand of charity, as is thy word?
A few gifts, dear aunt, for deserving villagers. Lo, here is some peppermint drop for old Gaffer Gadderby, a set of false teeth for pretty little Ruth Rowbottom, and a pound of snuff for the poor orphan girl on the hill.
Ah, Rose, pity that so much goodness should not help to make some gallant youth happy for life. Rose, why dost thou harden that little heart of thine? Is there none here away whom thou couldst love?
And even if there were such an one, verily it would ill become me to tell him so.
Nay, dear one, where true love is, there's little need of prim formality.
Hush, dear aunt, for thy words pain me sorely. Hung in a plated dish cover to the knocker of the workhouse door, with naught that I could call mine own, save a change of baby linen and a book of etiquette. Little wonder if I have always regarded that work as a voice from a parent's tomb. This hallowed volume, composed, if I may believe the title page, by no less an authority than the wife of the Lord Mayor, has been through life my guide and monitor. By its solemn precepts, I have learned to test the moral worth of all who approach me. The man who bites his bread or eats peas with a knife, I look upon as a lost creature. And he who has not acquired the proper way of entering and leaving a room is the object of my pitying horror. There are those in this village, dear aunt, who bite their nails, and nearly all are wont to use their pocket combs in public places. In truth, I could pursue this painful theme much further, but behold, I have said enough.
But is there not one among them who is faultless in thine eyes? For example, young Robin. He combines the manners of a marquis with the morals of a Methodist. Couldst thou not love him?
And even if I could, how should I confess it unto him? For lo, he is shy and saith naught.
If somebody there chance to be, who love me in a manner true, my heart would point him out to me, and I could point him out to you. But here it says of those who point, their manners must be out of joint. You may not point, you must not point, it's manners out of joint to point. Ah, and I the love of such as he, some quiet spot he'd take me to, then he could whisper it to me, and I could whisper it to you. But whispering I somewhere met is contrary to etiquette. Where can it be? Now let me see. Yes, yes, it's contrary to etiquette. If anywhere but youth I knew, polite and gentle, neat and prim, then I could hint as much to you, and you could hint as much to him. But here it says in plainest print, it's most unladylike to hint. You may not hint, you must not hint. It says you mustn't hint in print. Ah, and if I love him through and through, true love and not a passing whim, then I could speak of it to you, and
Where can it be? Now let me see. Yes, yes. Don't speak until you're spoken to. Poor aunt. Little did the good soul think when she breathed the hallowed name of Robin that he would do even as well as another. But he resembles all the youths in this village in that he is unduly bashful in my presence, and lo, it is hard to bring him to the point. But soft, he is here.
Mistress Rose?
Master Robin.
I wish to say that it is fine.
It is passing fine.
But we do want rain.
Aye, sorely. Is that all?
Yes, that is all.
Good day, Master Robin.
Good day. Mistress Rose, I beg pardon, I
beg your pardon. You were about to say.
Yes, I would fain consult you.
Truly?
It is about a friend.
In truth, I have a friend myself.
Indeed. I mean, of course.
And I would fain consult you.
About him?
About her.
Oh. Then, let us consult one another. I know a youth who loves a little maid. Hey, but his face is a sight for to see. Silent is he, for he's modest and afraid. Hey, but he's timid as a youth can be.
I know a maid who loves a gallant youth. Hey, but she sickens as the days go by. She cannot tell him all the sad, sad truth. Hey, but I think that little maid will die.
Poor little man.
Poor little maid.
Poor little man.
Poor little maid. Now
tell me, pray, and tell me true, what in the world should a young man do? He cannot eat and he cannot sleep. Hey, but his face is a sight for to see. Daily he goes for to wail, for to weep. Hey, but he's wretched as a youth can be.
She's very thin and she's very pale. Hey, but she sickens as the days go by. Daily she goes for to weep, for to wail. Hey, but I think that little maid will die.
Poor little maid.
Poor little man.
Poor little maid.
Poor little man. Now tell me, pray, and tell me true, what in the world should a maiden do? If I were the youth, I should offer her my name. Hey, but her face is a sight for to see.
If I were that maid, I should fan his honest flame. Hey, but he's bashful as a youth can be.
If I were that youth, I should speak to her today. Hey, but she sickens as the days go by.
If I were the maid, I would meet the lad halfway, for I really do believe that timid youth will die.
Poor little man.
Poor little maid.
Poor little man.
Poor little maid. I thank you, miss, for your counsel true. I'll tell that youth what she ought to do.
Poor child. I sometimes think that if she were not quite so particular, I might venture to... Oh, no, even then I should be unworthy of her.
My kind master is sad. Dear Sir Riven Murgatroyd!
Hush! Hush! Love me, breathe, not that hated name. 20 years ago, in horror at the prospect of inheriting that hideous title, and with it the ban that compels all who succeed to the baronetcy to commit at least one deadly crime per day for life, I fled my home and concealed myself in this innocent village under the name of Robin Oakapple. My younger brother...
Despard?
Yes, Despard. Believing me to be dead, succeeded to the title and its attendant curse. For 20 years now, I have been dead and buried. Don't dig me up now.
My kind master, it shall be as you wish. For have I not sworn to obey you forever in all things? Yet, as we are alone here together, and as I belong to that particular description of good old man to whom the truth is a refreshing novelty, let me call you by your own right title once more. Sir Riven Murgatroyd, Baronet of Ruddigore! It's like 8 hours at the seaside.
My good old friend. Would there were more like you.
Oh, there were indeed. Yet, I bring you good tidings. Your foster brother Richard has returned from sea. His ship, the Tom Tit, lies yonder at anchor, and he himself is even now in this very village.
My beloved foster brother. No, no, it cannot be.
It is even so. And see, he comes this way.
Oh. Ah. Richard? 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 Richard, my beloved foster brother, a very dearest friend. Welcome home again after 10 long years at sea. It is such deeds as yours that cause our flag to be loved and dreaded throughout the civilized world.
Why, Lord Lovey Rob, that's but a trifle to what we have done in the way of sparing life.
Oh, yes?
I believe I may say, without exaggeration, that the merciful little Tom Tit has spared more French frigates than any other craft afloat. But take for a British seaman to boast, so I'll just stow my jaw in tackle and belay. But vast heaven, messmate, what's got you all a cockbill?
Oh, plastic. I love Rose Maybud and love in vain.
You love in vain? Come, that's too good. Why, you're a fine, strapping, muscular young feller. Tall and strong as 2-gallon mast. Taut as a forestay.
Oh, yes.
Aye, and a barren knight to boot, if all had their rights.
Richard, not a word of my true rank which none here suspects. Oh. Yes, I know well enough that Few men are better calculated to win a woman's heart than I. I'm a fine fellow, Dick, worthy of any woman's love. Happy the girl who gets me, say I. But I'm timid, Dick, shy, nervous, modest, retiring, diffident. I cannot tell her, Dick. I cannot tell her. Oh, you've no idea what a poor opinion I have of myself and how little I deserve it.
Robin, do you call to mind how years ago we swore that come what might, we would always act upon our heart's dictates?
Aye, Dick, and I've always kept that oath. In doubt, difficulty, and danger, I've always asked my heart what I should do, and it has never failed me.
Right. Let your heart be your compass. And with a clear conscience for your binnacle light, you'll sail 10 knots on a bowline, clear of shoals, rocks, and quicksands.
Aha.
Well, now, what does my heart say to me in this here difficult situation? Why, it says, Dick, it says, it calls me Dick because it's known me from a babby.
Yeah.
Dick, it says, you ain't shy.
No.
You ain't modest.
No.
Speak you up for him as is. Robin, my lad, just you lay me alongside.
What?
And when she's becalmed under my lee, I'll spin her a yarn that shall serve to fish you two together for life.
Will you do this thing for me? Can you, do you think? Oh, yes, there's no false modesty about you. Oh, you're what I would call bumptious self-assertiveness. Oh, I mean the expression in its complimentary sense. Has already made you a boatswain's mate. It will make an admiral of you in time if you work it properly. Oh, dear, incompetent old imposter. Oh, my dear fellow, I would give my right arm for 1/10 of your modest assurance. My boy, you may take it from me that of all the afflictions accursed, with which a man saddled and hampered and addled, a diffident nature's the worst. Though clever as clever can be, a Crichton of early romance, you must stir it and stump it and blow your own trumpet, or trust me, you haven't a chance. If you wish in the world to advance, your merit you're bound to enhance, you must stir it and stump it and blow your own trumpet, or trust me, you haven't a chance. Now take, for example, my case. I've a bright intellectual brain. In all London City there's no one so witty. I've thought so again and again. I've a highly intelligent face. My features cannot be denied. But whatever I try, sir, I fail in. And why, sir?
I don't know.
I'm modesty personified. If you wish in the world to advance, your merit you're bound to enhance. You must stir it and stump it and blow your own trumpet, or trust me, you haven't a chance. As a poet, I'm tender and quaint. I've passion and fervour and grace. From Ovid and Horace to Swinburne and Morris, they all of them take a back place. Then I sing and I play and I paint, though none as accomplished as I. To say so with treason, you ask me the reason.
No, I didn't.
I'm diffident, modest, and shy. If you wish in the world to advance, your merit you're bound to enhance. You must stir it and stump it and blow your own trumpet, or trust me, you haven't a chance.
If you wish in the world to advance, your merit you're bound to enhance. You must stir it and stump it and blow your own trumpet, or trust me, you haven't a chance. Poor fella. It's 1,000 pities he's such a poor opinion of himself, for a finer feller don't walk. Well, I'll do my best for him. Plead for him as though it was for your own father. That's what my heart's remarking to me just now. But here she comes. Steady. Steady it is. By the Port Admiral, but she's a tight little craft. Come, Dick. She's not for you. And yet, she's fit to marry Lord Nelson. By the flag of old England, I can't look at her unmoved.
Sir, you are agitated.
Aye, my lass. Well said. I am agitated, true enough. Took flat aback, my girl. But 'tis naught. 'Twill pass. This here heart of mine's a dictating to me like anything. Question is, have I the right to disregard his promptings?
Can I do aught to relieve thine anguish? For it seemeth to me that thou art in sore trouble. This apple?
No, my lass, tain't that. I'm took flat aback. I never seen anything like you in all my born days. Par buckle me if you ain't the loveliest gal I ever set eyes on there. I can't say fairer than that, can I?
No. The question is it meet that an utter stranger should thus express himself? Yes, always speak the truth.
I'd no thoughts of saying this here to you on my own account. For truth to tell, I was chartered by another. But when I see you, my heart did up and it says it. This is the very last for you, Dick. Speak up to her, Dick, it says. It calls me Dick because we was at school together. Tell her all, Dick, it says. Never sail under false colours. It's mean. That's what my heart tells me to say. And in my rough, common sailor-like fashion, I've said it. And I'm a-waiting for your reply. I'm a-trembling, miss. Looky here. Oh, that's nervousness.
Now, how should a maiden deal with such an one? Keep no one in unnecessary suspense. Behold, I will not keep you in unnecessary suspense.
No.
In accepting an offer of marriage, do so with apparent hesitation. I take you, but with a certain show of reluctance. Avoid any appearance of eagerness, though you will bear in mind that I am far from anxious to do so. A little show of emotion will not be misplaced. Pardon this tear.
Rose, you've made me the happiest blue jacket in England. I wouldn't change places with the Admiral of the Fleet, no matter who he was a-hugging of at this present moment. But, asking your pardon, miss, might I be permitted to salute the flag I'm going to sail under?
An engaged young lady should not permit too many familiarities. Once.
What news? Have you spoken to her?
Aye, my lad, I have, so to speak, spoke her.
And she refuses.
Well, no. I can't truly say she do.
Then she accepts. Oh, my darling.
Hail the bridegroom, hail the bride, when the nuptial knot is tied. In fair phrases, in their praises, hail the bridegroom, hail the bride.
Now what should a maiden do when she's embraced by the wrong gentleman?
Belay, my lad, belay. You don't understand.
Oh, sir, belay, I beseech you.
You see, it's like this. Huh? She accepts, but it's me. You?
Hail the bridegroom, hail the bride, when the nuptial knot
Hold your
is tied.
tongues, will you? Now then, what does this mean?
My poor lad, my heart grieves for thee, but it's like this. The moment I see her, and just as I was going to mention your name, my heart did up and it says it, Dick, you fell in love with her yourself, it says. Be honest and sailor-like. Don't skulk under false colours. Speak up, it says. Take her, you dog, and with her, my blessing.
Hail the bridegroom, hail the bride, when the nuptial knot is tied.
Go away! Vulgar girls.
What could I do? I'm bound to obey my heart's dictates.
Of course, no doubt. It's quite right. I don't mind. That is, not particularly. Only it's disappointing, you know.
Oh, but sir, I knew not that thou didst seek me in wedlock, or in very truth I should not have hearkened unto this man. For behold, he is but a lowly mariner, and very poor withal. Whereas thou art a tiller of the land, thou hast fat oxen, many sheep and swine, a considerable dairy farm, and much corn and oil.
That's true, my lass, but it's done now, ain't it, Rob?
Still, it may be that I should not be happy in thy love, for I am passing young and little able to judge. Moreover, as to thy character, I know naught.
Oh, nay, Rose, I'll answer for that. Dick is one I love fairly. Oh, broken-hearted as I am, I'll stand up for Dick through thick and thin.
Thank ye, messmate. That's well said. That's spoken honest.
But it may be that he drinketh strong waters which do bemuse a man, and make him even as the wild beasts of the desert.
Well, suppose he does. And I don't say he don't, for rum's his bane, and ever has been. He does drink. I'm not going to deny it. But what of that? I mean, look at his arm, tattooed to the shoulders. No. I won't hear a word against Dick.
But they say that mariners are but rarely true to those whom they profess to love.
Granted. And I won't say that Dick isn't as bad as any of them. You know you are, the dogged devil of a fellow, a regular out-and-out Lothario. But what then? You can't have everything. And a better hand at turning in a dead eye don't walk a Dick, Dr. Dick. And what an accomplishment that is in a family man. No. Won't hear a word against Dick. I'll stick up for him through thick and thin.
Thank ye, Rob. Thank ye. You're a true friend. I've acted according to my art's dictates, and such orders as them no man should disobey.
Sailing all life's ocean wide, the heart should be your only guide. With summer sea and failing wine, yourself in port you'll surely find.
My heart says to this maiden strike. She's captured you. She's just the sort of girl you like. You know you do. If other men her heart should gain, I shall resign. That's what it says to me quite plain. This heart of mine, this heart of mine.
My heart says you've a prosperous lot, with acres wide. You mean to settle all you've got upon your bride. It don't pretend to shape my acts by word or sign. It merely states the simple facts. This heart of mine, this heart of mine.
10 minutes since my heart said white, it now says black. It then says left, it now says right. Heart's off on tack. I must obey its latest strain. You tell me so, but should it change its mind again, I'll let you know. I'll let you know.
In sailing all life's ocean wide, the heart of mine shall be your guide. But it is awkward when you find a heart that does not know it's mine. A heart that does not know it's mine. A heart that does not know it's mine. That does not know it's
She really carols the lark over the cot. Merrily whistles the clock, scratching a blot. But the lock and the clock, I remark, comfort me not. Over the ripening peach buzzes the bee. Splash on the billowy beach tumbles the sea. But the beach and the beach, they're each nothing to me. And why, who am I? Daft mad, crazy Meg, mad moon. Poor Peg. Mad, yes, very, but why mystery? Don't
Maiden, and in tears.
Oh, can I do aught to soften thy sorrow?
This apple?
No. Tell me, are you mad?
I? No. That is, I think not.
That's well. Then you don't love Sir Despard Murgatroyd. All mad girls love him. I love him. And poor mad Margaret, crazy Meg, poor pig.
Thou lovest the bad Baronet of Ruddigore? Horrible, too horrible.
You pity me? Then be my mother. The squirrel had a mother, but she drank, and the squirrel fled. Shh! They sing a brave song in our parts. It runs somewhat thus. The cat and the dog and the little puppy sat down I forget what they sat down in, but so the song goes. Listen, I've come to pinch her.
Mercy, whom?
You mean who?
Nay, it is the accusative after the verb.
True. I've come to pinch Rose Maybud.
Rose Maybud?
I love him. He loved me once, but that's all gone. He gave me an Italian glance thus, and made me his. He will give her an Italian glance and make her his, but it shall not be, for I'll stamp on her, stamp on her, stamp on her. Did you ever kill anybody? No. Why not? Listen. I killed a fly this morning. It buzzed, and I wouldn't have it, so it died. Pop! So shall she.
Behold, I am Rose Maybud, and I would fain not die pop.
You are Rose Maybud?
Yes, sweet Rose Maybud.
Strange. They told me she was beautiful. And he loves you? No, no. If I thought that, I would treat you as the auctioneer and land agent treated the ladybird. I would rend you asunder.
Be pacified, for lo, I am pledged to another, and we are to be wedded this very day.
Swear me that. Come to a commissioner and let me have it on affidavit. I once made an affidavit, but it died. It died. It died. They come, Sir Despard and his evil crew. Hide, hide. They're all mad, quite mad.
Oh, what makes you think that?
They sing choruses in public. That's mad enough, I think. Go, hide away, or they will seize you. Softly, quite softly.
Welcome, gentry, for your entry. Set our tender hearts a beating. Living of station and illumination. From this unaffected greeting. Hearty greeting. Hearty greeting.
When thoroughly tired of being admired by ladies of gentle degree, with flattery, sainting, high flown and inflated, away from the sinking we flee, from charms intramural to prettiness rural, the sudden transition is simply illusion. Come Amaryllis, come Chloe, and finish your stay for the moment, are we your slaves for the moment, your slaves are we.
The sons of the timid who dwell in this village of people of lowly degree, though honest and active, they're most unattractive and awkward as awkward can be. They clumsy hoppers with axes and choppers and shepherds and plowmen and drovers and cowmen, hedges and reapers and carters and keepers, but never a lover for me. And
They come Amaryllis,
Hearty greeting.
come Chloe and Phyllis, when thoroughly tired of being admired by ladies of gentle degree, with flattery, sainting, high flown and inflated, away from the sinking we flee, from charms intramural to prettiness rural, the sudden transition is simply illusion. Come Amaryllis, come Chloe and Phyllis, your stay for the moment, are we your slaves for the moment, your slaves are we.
Oh, why am I moody and sad? And why am I guiltily mad? Because I am thoroughly bad.
Oh, yes.
You'll see it at once in my face. Oh, why am I husky and hoarse? It's the workings of conscience, of course. And huskiness stands for remorse. At least it does so in my case. When in crime one is fully employed, your expression gets warped and destroyed. It's a penalty few can avoid. I once was a nice-looking youth, but like stone from a strong catapult, I rushed at my terrible count. Observe the unpleasant result.
Not nice.
Indeed, I am telling the truth. Oh, innocence, happy though poor. If I had been virtuous, I'm sure I should be as nice-looking as you're. You are very nice-looking indeed. Oh, innocence, listen in time. Avoid an existence of crime. Oh, you'll be as ugly as I'm.
No, sir.
And now, if you please, we'll proceed.
children. How they loathe me. Me whose hands are certainly steeped in infamy, but whose heart is as the heart of a little child. But what is a poor baronet to do when a whole picture gallery of ancestors step down from their frames and threaten him with an excruciating death if he hesitate to commit his daily crime? But, I am even with them. I get my crime over first thing in the morning, and then, for the rest of the day, I do good. I do good. I do good. Oh, 2 days since, I stole a child and built an orphan asylum. Yesterday, I robbed a bank and endowed a bishopric. Today, I carry off Rose Maybud and atone with a cathedral. This is what it is to be the sport and toy of a picture gallery. But I will be bitterly revenged upon them. I will give them all to the nation, and then nobody shall ever look upon their faces again. Thank you.
Asking your honor's pardon.
Ah, observed by a mariner. What would you with me, fellow?
Your honor, I'm a poor man-o'-war's man, becalmed in the doldrums.
I don't know them.
And I make bold to ask your honor's advice. Does your honor know what it is to have a heart?
My honor knows what it is to have a complete apparatus for conducting the circulation of the blood through the veins and arteries of the human body.
Aye. But, has your honor a heart that ups and looks you in the face and gives you quarterdeck orders that it's life and death to disobey?
I have not a heart of that description, but I have a picture gallery that presumes to take that liberty.
Well, your honor, it's like this. Your honor had an elder brother.
It had.
Who should have inherited your title, and with it, its curse.
Ah, but he died. Oh, Ribbon, Ribbon, Ribbon.
He didn't.
He did not.
He did not.
He didn't?
On the contrary, he lives in this here very village under the name of Robin Oakapple, and he's going to marry Rose Maybud this very day.
Ribbon? Alive? And going to marry Rose Maybud? Can this be possible?
Now, the question I was going to ask your honor is, ought I to tell your honor this?
Well, I don't know. It's a delicate point. I think you ought. Mind, I'm not sure, but I think so.
That's what my heart says. Why, it says Dick, it says... Why, it calls me Dick, because it's entitled to take that liberty.
Oh, I see.
That there young girl would recoil from him if she knowed what he really were. Ought you to stand off and on and let this young girl take this here false step and never fire a shot across her bows to bring her to? No, it says. You did not ought, and I won't ought according.
Then you really feel yourself at liberty to tell me that my elder brother lives, that I may charge him with his cruel deceit, and transfer to his shoulders the hideous thraldom under which I have lived for so many years. Free, free to live a blameless life, and to live and die, beloved and regretted by all who knew me.
You understand?
I think I do. With vigor or shaken, the steps to be taken, it's neatly planned.
I think so too. I'll readily bet it. You'll never regret it.
For
duty must be done. The rule applies to everyone. And thankful though that duty be, to shirk the task were fiddly-dee. To shirk the task were fiddly-dee. To shirk the task. To shirk the task were fiddly-fiddly, 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 fiddly-dee.
bridegroom comes.
Likewise the bride, the maidens are very elated and merry, they are her chums.
To lash their pride were almost a pity, the pretty committee.
But duty must be done, the rule applies to everyone, and painful though that duty be, to shirk the task were fiddle-dee-dee, to shirk the task were fiddle-dee-dee, to shirk the task were fiddle-dee-fiddle-dee, fiddle-dee-fiddle-dee, fiddle-dee-fiddle-dee-dee.
bridegroom, ere ye wed each other, I claim young Robin as my elder brother. His rightful title I have long enjoyed. I claim him as Sir Riven Murgatroyd.
Deny the false Robin as you should. It is a plot.
I would, if conscientiously I could, but I cannot.
On this one. On this one.
As pure and blameless peasant, I cannot, I regret, deny a truth unpleasant. I am that baronet.
He is that baronet.
But when completely rated, that baronet am I. That I am what he stated, I'll recklessly deny.
He'll recklessly deny.
When I'm a bad bat, I won't tell taradiddles.
He'll tell taradiddles when he's a bad part.
I'll play a bad part on the falsest of fiddles.
On very false fiddles, he'll play a bad part.
But until they take place, I should be conscientious.
He'll be conscientious until they take place.
And adieu with good grace to my morals and tensions.
To morals and tensions, adieu with good grace. Adieu with good grace to his morals and tensions.
When I'm a bad bat, I won't tell taradiddles.
On very false fiddles, he'll play a bad part. He'll play a bad part on the falsest of fiddles and tell taradiddles when he's a bad part. When he's a bad part, he will tell taradiddles. On very false fiddles, he'll play a bad part. He'll play a bad part on the falsest of fiddles and tell taradiddles when he's a bad part. When he's a bad part, he will tell taradiddles. On very false fiddles, on very false fiddles, he'll play a bad part. Who is the wretch who hath betrayed thee? Let him stand forth.
'Twas I. Hold! My conscience made me withhold your wrath. Within this breast there beats a heart whose voice can't be gainsaid. It bade me thy true rank impart, and I at once obeyed. I knew 'twould blight thy budding fate. I knew 'twould cause the anguish great. But did I therefore hesitate? No, I at once obeyed.
Again we must resist to heart, and in the blow is rank impart.
Quickly won, but now we part, thy face I shun. Farewell, go bend the knee at Vice's shrine, of life with me all home resign. Farewell, farewell. Take me, I am thy bride.
Hail the bridegroom, hail the bride, when the nuptial knot is tied. Every day will bring some joy that can never, never cloy.
Excuse me, I'm a virtuous person now.
That's why with you.
And I to Margaret must keep my vow.
Have I misread you? Oh, joy, if you repeat a word to walk
I once disliked you, now that I'm reformed, how I adore you.
Hail the bridegroom, hail the bride, when the nuptial note is tied, every day will bring some joy that can never, never cloy.
Richard, of him my love, bereft to my design. Thou art the only one that's left, so I'm thine.
Hail the bridegroom, hail the bride, hail the bridegroom, hail the bride.
Kissed by the bee, and so quickly by God, he is he, and happy to feel the blaze in the bright and round, happy to many a power to the many a love, that is many a princess is glad, princess is glad,
After the fantastic success of the Mikado, somebody once referred to Ruddigore as a failure, but Gilbert, who had just made 7,000 pounds from the opera, said he would like a few more failures just like that. Well, I imagine his bank manager would have agreed, don't you? By the way, in case you're confused by the word baronet, let me explain that it's a fairly old hereditary English title. It passed from father to his eldest son, and so on down the line. Very simply, it's just not so high as a lord, if you know what I mean. And by some strange quirk of theatrical tradition, the villain in a Victorian melodrama was often a wicked baronet. Now, Gilbert was poking fun at this tradition, especially when, as you just saw, the bad baronet became the good baronet, and the good one became the bad one. Oh, it's all very confusing, but anyway. Mind you, Gilbert was no fool. He knew full well that all melodrama had to have an element of burlesque. But back now to Ruddigore, where the new baronet, Sir Riven Murgatroyd, is trying his very best to be really wicked.
as a newborn lamb, I'm now murgatroyd. With greater precision, without the elision, Sir Riven murgatroyd.
And I was once his rally de charmer, a steward I'm now employed. The Dickens may take him, I'll never forsake him, a steward I'm now employed.
How dreadful when an innocent heart becomes perforce a bad young bard, and still more hard on older ram. His former faithful Validesham, his former faithful Validesham, his Validesham, his Validesham, his Validesham. Oh, this is a painful state of things, Adam.
Painful indeed, sir. Oh, my kind master, when I swore that come what would, I would serve you in all things forever, I little thought what a task it would bring me. The confidential advisor to the greatest villain unhung. Now, sir, to business. What crime do you propose to commit today?
Oh, how should I know? As my confidential advisor, it's your duty to suggest something.
Sir, I loathe the life you're leading. But a good old man's word is paramount, and I obey. Richard Dauntless is here with pretty Rose Maybud to ask your consent to their marriage. Poison their beer.
Oh, no, not that. I know I'm a bad Bart, but I'm not as bad a Bart as all that.
Well, there you are, you see. What is the use of me making suggestions if you don't adopt them?
Do you think, Adam, were I to lure him here with cunning wile, bind him with good stout rope to yonder post, and then, by making hideous faces at him, curdle the heart's blood in his artery, and freeze the very marrow of his bones? What say you, Adam? Is not this scheme well planned?
It would be simply rude, nothing more. But soft. They come.
Happily coupled are we, you see. I am a jolly Jack Tar, my star, and you are the fairest, the richest, and rarest of innocent lasses you are, by far. Of innocent lasses you are. Fanned by a favouring gale you'll sail over life's treacherous sea with me, and as for bad weather we'll save it together, and you shall creep under my lee, my wee. And you shall creep under my lee, my wee. For you are such a smart little craft, such a neat little sweet little craft, such a bright little tight little slight little light little trim little prim little craft.
My hopes will be blighted, I fear, my dear. In a month you'll be going to sea quite free, and all of my wishes you throw to the fishes as though they were never to be for me, as though they were never to be. And I shall be left all alone to moan and weep at your crawling seat complete, while you'll be asserting your freedom by flirting with every woman you meet. You cheat, with every woman you meet. Though I am such a small little craft, such a sweet little neat little craft, such a bright little tight little slight little light little trim little prim little craft. It's such a small little craft, such a neat little sweet little craft, such a bright little tight little slight little light little trim little prim little craft.
So, pretty one, in my power at last, eh?
Know ye not that I have those within my call who at my lightest bidding will immure ye in an uncomfortable dungeon? What ho, within there?
Hold! We are prepared for this. Here is a flag which none dare defy. And while this glorious rag floats over Rose Maybud's head, the man does not live who would dare to lay unlicensed hand upon her.
Foiled, and by a union jack. But a time will come, and then...
Let me plead with him. Sir Riven, have pity. In my book of etiquette, the case of a maiden about to be wedded to one who unexpectedly turns out to be a baronet with a curse on him is not considered. Time was when you loved me madly. Prove that this was no selfish love by according your consent to my marriage with one who, if he be not you yourself, is the next best thing, your dearest friend.
Ah.
In bygone days I had thy love, thou hadst my heart, but fate all human vows above our lives did part. By the old love thou hadst for me, by the fond heart that beats for thee, by joys that never more can be, grant thou my prayer. Grant thou my
Take her, I yield.
Away to the coast we go, sing with the listeners and sing with the true one, singing
Oh, she is such a smart little craft,
such a sweet little craft,
such a bright little, slight little, trim little, prim little craft.
For a week now, I have fulfilled my accursed doom. I have committed a crime a day. Not a great crime, I trust. Still, in the eyes of one as strictly regulated as I used to be, a crime. But will my ghostly ancestors be satisfied with what I have done? Or will they regard it as an unworthy subterfuge? Oh, my forefathers, wallowers in blood, there came at last a time when, sick of crime, you each and every vowed to sin no more. And so in agony called welcome death to free you from your clawing guiltiness. Let the sweet psalm of that repentant hour soften your long dead hearts and move your souls to pity on your poor posterity.
at home, leave him. Set upon thy course of ease, lest the King of Splendorland set on thee his grisly Beware, beware, beware.
Gaunt vision, who art thou that thus with icy glare and stern relentless brow appearest? Who knows how?
I am the spectre of the late Sir Roderick Murgatroyd, who comes to warn thee that thy fate thou canst not now avoid.
Alas, poor ghost!
The pity you express for nothing goes. We spectres are a jollier crew than you perhaps suppose. We spectres are a jollier crew than you perhaps suppose. When the night wind howls in the chimney cowls, and the bat in the moonlight flies, and inky clouds like funeral shrouds sail over the midnight skies, when the footpads quail and the night birds wail and black dogs bay at the moon, then is the spectre's holiday, then is the ghost high noon, for then is the ghost high noon, high noon. As the sob of the breeze sweeps over the trees and the mist lie low on the fen, from grey tombstones are gathered the bones that once were women and men, and away they go over the mop and the moor to the revel that ends too soon. For cockerel limit on holiday, the dead of the night I know, the dead of the night I know, I know. And then each ghost with his lady toast to their churchyard beds take flight, with a kiss perhaps on her lantern chaps and a grisly grim good night, till the welcome knell of the midnight bell rings forth its jolliest tune, and ushers in our next high holiday, the dead of the night I know, the dead of the night I know, I know. The dead of the night
Tea! I recognize you now. You're the picture that hangs over the mantelpiece.
In a bad light, I am.
Are you considered a good likeness?
Oh, pretty well,
because
flattering.
As a work of art, you are poor.
I am cruel in colour, but I've only been painted 10 years. In a couple of centuries, I shall be an old master. And then you'll be sorry you spoke lightly of me.
May I ask why you have all left your frames?
It is our duty to see that our successors commit their daily crimes in a conscientious and workmanlike fashion. It is our duty to remind you that you are evading the conditions under which you are permitted to exist.
Really, I don't know what you would have. I've only been a bad baronet a week, and I've performed a crime punctually every day.
Let us inquire into this. Monday?
Monday was a bank holiday.
True. Tuesday?
On Tuesday, I made a false income tax return.
That's nothing. Nothing at all.
Everybody does that.
It's expected of you.
Wednesday?
On Wednesday, I forged a will.
Whose will?
My own.
My good sir, you can't forge your own will.
Can't I, though? I like that I did. Besides, if I can't forge my own will, whose will can I forge?
There's something in that.
Yes, it seems reasonable.
Well, at first sight it does. Fallacy somewhere, I fancy.
A man can do what he likes with his own.
Oh, I suppose he can.
Well, then, he can forge his own will, stupid.
Oh, I don't think that's terribly nice.
On Thursday, I shot a fox.
Here, here.
That's better. Oh, past the fox, I think. Yes. Past the fox. Friday.
Friday, I forged a check.
Whose check?
Old Adams.
But old Adam hasn't a banker.
Didn't say I forged his banker, I said I forged his check. On Saturday, I disinherited my only son.
But you haven't got a son.
No, not yet. I disinherited him in advance to save time. You see, by this arrangement, he'll be born ready disinherited.
I see. But I don't think you can do that.
No.
My good sir, if I can't disinherit my own unborn son, whose unborn son can I disinherit?
These arguments sound very well, but I can't help thinking that if they were reduced to syllogistic form, they wouldn't hold water. Now, quite understand us. We are foggy. But we do not permit our fogginess to be presumed upon. Unless you undertake to, suppose we say, carry off a lady. What? Those in favor of his carrying off a lady.
Carry off a lady?
Those of the contrary opinion.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, you're never satisfied. Yes, unless you undertake to carry off a lady at once, I don't care what lady, any lady, choose your lady, you perish in inconceivable agonies.
Carry off a lady? Certainly not on any account. I've the greatest respect for ladies. I wouldn't do anything of the kind for worlds. No, I'm not that sort of baronet, I assure you. If that's all you've got to say, you better go back to your frame.
Very good. Then let the agonies commence.
Ow! Ow! Oh, stop it! Stop it! I can't stand it!
Painful, isn't it? It gets worse by degrees.
Oh, stop it! Will you stop it? Stop it! Stop it! I want to speak!
Better?
Ow! Ooh! Ooh! Oh, yes. Yes, better now. Thank you.
Well, do you consent?
Oh, but it's such an ungentlemanly thing to do.
As you please, carry on.
No, stop it! I can't stand it! Oh, I agree. I agree. It shall be done. I promise. Today.
At once?
At once. Oh, I retract. Oh, I apologize. Oh, I had no idea it was anything like that.
He answers to alone. We do not ask for more. A sturdy fellow, after all, this latest RUDDIGORE. A sturdy fellow, after all, this latest RUDDIGORE. All perish in a blur of woe, who dare our wills defy. We want to pardon, there we go. We want to pardon, there we go, for having agonized so. So pardon us, so pardon us, so pardon us, or die. So pardon us, so pardon us, so pardon us, or die.
I pardon you. I pardon you.
He pardons us, he pardons us, he pardons us, or die.
Oh.
My kind master, you're not well.
Oh, Adam, it won't do. I've just seen them. Oh, my ancestors. No. They've just gone. They say I must do something desperate at once or perish in horrible agony. Go to yonder village, carry off a maiden, bring her here at once.
A maiden?
Yes, anyone, I don't care. Which? Not a word, but obey. Fly! Adam? 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 Adam!
I once was a very abandoned person.
Making the most of evil chances,
Nobody could conceive a worsen.
even in all the old romances.
I blush for my wild extravagances. But be so kind to bear in mind,
We were the victims of circumstances. That is one of our blameless dances. I was once an exceedingly odd young lady.
suffering much from spleen and vapors.
Clergymen thought my conduct shady.
She didn't spend much upon linen drapers.
It certainly entertained the gapers. My ways were strange beyond all range.
Paragraphs got into all the papers. We only cut respectable capers. I've given up all my wild proceedings.
My taste for a wandering life is waning.
Now I'm a dab at penny readings.
They are not remarkably entertaining.
A moderate livelihood we're gaining.
In fact, we rule a national school.
The duties are dull, but I'm not complaining. This sort of thing takes a deal of training. We've been married a week.
One happy, happy week
Our new life,
is delightful indeed.
so calm.
So unimpassioned. Oh, master, all this I owe to you. See, I am no longer wild and untidy. My hair is combed, my face is washed, my boots fit.
Margaret, don't. Pray restrain yourself. Remember, you are now a district visitor.
A gentle district visitor.
You are orderly, methodical, neat. You have your emotions well under control.
I have. Oh, master, when I think of all you have done for me, I fall at your feet. I embrace your ankles. I hug your knees.
Hush! This is not well. This is calculated to provoke remark. Be composed, I beg.
Ah, you are angry with poor Mad Margaret?
No, not angry. But a district visitor must learn to eschew melodrama. Visit the poor by all means and give them tea and barley water. But don't do it as if you were administering a bowl of deadly nightshade. It upsets them. And then when you visit sick people and find them not as well as could be expected, why go into hysterics?
Why not?
Because it's too jumpy for the sick room.
How strange. Oh, Master, how shall I express the all-absorbing gratitude that I... Yes, I know, dear. It shan't occur again. Shall I tell you one of Mad Margaret's odd thoughts? Well, then, when I'm lying awake at night and the pale moonlight streams through the lattice casement, strange fancies crowd upon my poor mad brain. And I thought, if we could find some word for you to use whenever I'm about to relapse, some word that teems with hidden meaning, like Basingstoke, it might recall me to my saner self. For after all, I'm only Mad Margaret, daft leg, crazy pig.
Poor child, she wanders. Margaret! Soft, someone comes. Margaret, pray, recollect yourself. Basingstoke, I beg. Margaret, if you do not Basingstoke at once, I will be seriously angry.
Basingstoke it is.
Then make it so.
Despard and his young wife. This visit is unexpected.
Shall I fly at him? Shall I tear him limb from limb? Shall I rend him asunder? Say but the word.
Basingstoke.
Basingstoke it is.
Then make it so. My brother, I call you brother still, despite your horrible profligacy. We have come to urge you to abandon the evil courses to which you have committed yourself, and at any cost to become a pure and blameless ratepayer.
But I've done no wrong yet.
No wrong? He has done no wrong. Did you hear that?
Basingstoke! Basingstoke!
Basingstoke it is.
My brother. I still call you brother, you observe. You forget that you have been, in the eye of the law, a bad baronet of RUDDIGORE for the past 10 years, and that you are therefore responsible, in the eye of the law, for all of the misdeeds committed by that unhappy gentleman who occupied your place.
Oh, I see. Oh, dear. Bless my heart. I never thought of that. Was I very bad?
Awful, wasn't he?
Oh. And I've been going on this for how long?
10 years. Think of all the atrocities you have committed, by attorney, as it were, during that period. Oh. Remember how you trifled with this poor child's affections, how you raised her hopes on high. Don't cry, my love. Basingstoke, you know. Only to trample them into the dust when they were at the very zenith of their fullness. Fie on you, sir, fie! She trusted you.
Oh. Did she? Oh, what a scoundrel it must have been. There, my dear. Birmingham, you know, Birmingham.
Basingstoke.
Oh, yes, Basingstoke, of course, Basingstoke.
Then make it so.
There, don't cry. It's all right. He's married you now. That is, I've married... Which of us has married her?
Oh, I've married her.
Oh, I'm glad of that. Yes, he's married you now. And anything more disreputable than my conduct seems to have been, I've never even heard of. But my mind is made up. I will defy my ancestors and refuse to obey their behests. Thus, by courting death, atone in some degree for the infamy of my career.
I knew it. God bless you. Ah.
Basingstoke.
Basingstoke it is.
my eyes are fully open to my awful situation, I shall go at once to Roderick and make him a narration. I shall tell him I've recovered my forgotten moral senses and I don't give tuppence halfpenny for any consequences. Now I do not wish to perish by the sword or by the dagger, but a martyr may indulge a little pardonable swagger and a word or two of compliment my vanity would fetter. But I've got to tie tomorrow, so it really doesn't matter.
So it really doesn't matter, matter. So it really doesn't matter, matter.
So it really doesn't matter.
So it really doesn't matter. So it really doesn't matter,
If I were not a little mad and generally silly, I shall give you my advice upon the subject willy-nilly. I shall show you in a moment how to grapple with the question, and you'll really be astonished at the force of my suggestion. This subject I shall write you a most valuable letter full of excellent suggestion when I feel a little better. But at present I'm afraid I'm as mad as any hatter, so I'll keep them to myself, for my opinion doesn't matter.
Her opinion doesn't matter, matter. Her opinion doesn't matter,
My opinion doesn't matter.
Her opinion doesn't matter.
Her opinion doesn't matter,
If I had been so lucky as to have a steady brother who could talk to me as we are talking now to one another, who could give me good advice when he discovered I was erring, which is just the very favor which I knew I am conferring, my existence might have made a rather interesting idyll, and I might have lived and died a very decent individual. This particularly rapid, unintelligible patter isn't generally heard, and if it is, it doesn't matter.
If it is, it doesn't matter.
If it is, it doesn't matter, matter. If it is, it doesn't matter.
This particularly rapid, unintelligible patter isn't generally heard. If it is, it doesn't matter.
Master! The deed is done.
What deed?
She's here, alone, unprotected.
Who is?
The maiden. I've carried her off. Had a hard task. She fought like a tiger.
Great heavens, I had forgotten her. I had hoped to have died unspotted by crime, but I am foiled again! And by a tiger cat, produce her and leave us. Oh, Dame Hannah. This is not what I expected.
Well, sir, and what would you with me? Oh, you have begun bravely, bravely indeed. Unappalled by the calm dignity of blameless womanhood, your minion has torn me from my spotless home and dragged me blindfold and shrieking through hedges, over stiles, and across a very difficult country, and left me helpless and trembling at your mercy. Yet not helpless, coward sir, for approach one step, nay, but the 20th part of one poor inch, and this poniard shall teach you what it is to lay unholy hands on old Stephen Trusted Dog.
Madam, I'm extremely sorry for all this. It is not at all what I intended. Anything more correct, more deeply respectful than my intentions toward you. It would be impossible for anyone, however particular, to be...
I'm not to be tricked by smooth words, hypocrite.
Oh.
But be warned in time, for there are without 100 gallant hearts whose trusty blades would hack in limb from limb, who'd dare to lay unholy hands on old Stephen Trusted daughter.
Oh. And this is what it is to embark upon a life of unlicensed pleasure?
Yes. Harkee, miscreant! You have secured me, and I am your poor prisoner. But if you think I cannot take care of myself, you are very much mistaken. Now then, it's 1-to-1, and let the best man win.
Don't look at me like that. I can't stand it. Roderick, uncle, help me.
What's the matter? Have you carried her off?
Yes, she's there. Look at her. She terrifies me.
Little Nannikin.
Roddy-Doddy.
My own old love. Why, how came you here?
This brute. He carried me off bodily. But I'll show him.
Stop! What do you mean by carrying off this lady? Are you aware that once upon a time she was engaged to be married to me? I'm very angry indeed.
Well, I hope in future this will...
Hold your tongue, sir.
Yes, Uncle.
Have you given him any encouragement?
Have I given you any encouragement? Frankly now, have I?
Frankly, no, you have not. Anything more scrupulously correct than your conduct, it would be impossible for anyone to desire.
You go away.
Yes, Uncle.
And you... This is a strange meeting after so many years.
Very. I thought you were dead.
I am. I died 10 years ago.
And are you pretty comfortable?
Pretty well, that is. Yes, pretty well.
Well, you don't deserve to be. For I loved you all the while, dear, and it made me dreadfully unhappy to hear of all your goings-on, you bad, bad boy.
There grew a little flower 'neath a great oak tree. When the tempest 'gan to lower, little heeded she. No need had she to cower, for she dreaded not its power. She was happy in the bower of her great oak tree. Sing hey, lack-a-day. Sing hey, lack-a-day, let the tears fall free. For the pretty little flower and the great oak tree. Sing hey, lack-a-day, sing hey, lack-a-day, let the tears fall free. For the pretty little flower and the great oak tree. Said she, he loved me never, did that great oak tree. But I'm neither rich nor clever, and so why should he? But though fate or fortune sever, to be constant I'll endeavour. I forever and forever to my great oak tree sing hey, lack-a-day. Sing hey, lack-a-day, let the tears fall free. For the pretty little flower and the great oak tree. Sing hey, lack-a-day, sing hey, lack-a-day, hey, lack-a-day, let the tears fall free. For the pretty little flower and the great oak tree. Sing hey, lack-a-day, hey, lack-a-day, lack-a-day,
Stop a bit, both of you.
This intrusion is unmannerly.
I'm surprised at you.
I can't stop to apologize. An idea has just occurred to me. A baronet of RUDDIGORE can only die through refusing to commit his daily crime.
No doubt.
But, therefore, to refuse to commit a daily crime is tantamount to suicide.
Well, it would seem so.
But suicide is itself a crime. Therefore, by your own showing, you ought never to have died at all.
I see. I understand. Then I'm practically alive.
Undoubtedly. Rose, when you believed me to be a simple farmer, I believe you loved me.
Madly, passionately.
But when I became a bad baronet, you very properly loved Richard instead.
passionately, madly.
But if I were to turn out not to be a bad baronet after all, how would you love me then?
Madly, passionately.
As before.
Why, yes, of course.
My darling.
Here, I say, belay!
Oh, belay if it's absolutely necessary.
Belay, certainly not.